Baby, we have a great episode for you about Edward Bernays, the father of public relations. Was he a devil? Was he a good guy? I don't know. Come see me Thursday, September 11th, theater at Madison Square Garden, and then September 27th in Saudi Arabia. Go to ChristyComedy.com for Tiki Wikis or HistoryHyenasIsBack.com.
You can see me in Miami, September 11th, 12th, 13th. Bakersfield, California, October 3rd and 4th. Toronto, October 18th. Tulsa after that in October.
Enjoy this episode. It's going to be a good one. Just know if you're eating bacon and smoking a cigarette, you got manipulated. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the History Hyenas. I'm Chris Distefano, a.k.a. Chrissy Avocado, no Fetta. With me, as always, Yannis Pappas, a.k.a. Yanni's looking cute.
So are you. You're looking very cute and you're ready for the fall. You can't wait till it gets to the weather that your ancestors like, which is a little cloudy and a little cool.
A little cloudy, a little cool. I was in Chicago this weekend. It was 60 degrees and it was nice. And I got to be honest with you, I woke up every 2 hours with gas. So I'm a little sleepy.
You have gas because you may be overdoing it with the husk. Like me. I haven't shit in a week now.
Yeah, it's just what it is. Because they call me Elon Husk.
Yeah, I just don't know who to believe when I ask what is the proper dosage of husk, because Robert Kennedy Jr. has me questioning everything right now.
Because I just throw a little bit in a cup, I drink it with a little bit of water. Sometimes it's a tablespoon, sometimes it's a teaspoon, sometimes it's a forkful. I don't know.
Well, what I'm doing right now is I'm creating an anti-vaccine company. So whatever vaccines you or your baby's got, my company, we have reverse vaccines.
Nice.
So it's a nice new thing. I want you all to check it out on my website, YannisPappasComedy.com. I'm working with some doctors. They got lab coats. It's headed up by Dr. Drew, and what we're going to do is we're going to give you negative vaccines. So whatever vaccine you got, it will reverse it.
Reverse it.
And then in turn, your autism will be cured.
No, because, I mean, here's the thing, is I went off the beam this weekend eating. I started eating Italian food, pasta, I started eating pizza, and then I blacked this out, but when I got in my car this morning, there were 2 Carvel Anches in my cup holders that I forgot that I ate in the parking lot of Carvel at a Saturday. I landed at LaGuardia Saturday at 10 a.m. and then I stopped at the Carvel by my house and ate 2 Carvel Anches in the parking lot before I went home.
I got one thing to say.
Yeah.
Not that bad. As long as it's not a priest. The blackout's not as bad. Well, if you got to paint over the pain with a little chocolate Carvel, so be it.
Well, I don't know, because there were some rosary beads in the Carvel Anch.
So maybe it was a 2 for 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was a date with a priest.
Yeah.
It's what it is, because you were set in motion by the prime mover, and that prime mover was Father Bill.
Father Bill. Now,
and that's a throwback to the last episode.
Now, cuz, here's the thing. You and I met at we just want to quickly, before we have an amazing episode today about Edward Bernays, and we're going to tell you the reason you ate bacon and how we're all being manipulated every moment of the day. And this guy is the father of it. Some people say he's Satan. Some people say he's the man. I don't know. But we were in a cafe just a couple of blocks from the studio, and to the 2 girls who we saw, we just want to apologize for yelling out, "You're going to get cleaned," and spraying Fabuloso and trying to rub down your back with wet napkins. We're sorry that we did that. So please don't sue us, but you just had to get cleaned, and we had to clean. We went in the back and we got the cleaning products and we cleaned you.
We're a couple of married guys, so all we were doing is just doing a little sunbathing.
That's it, because explain what sunbathing is now.
Sunbathing is when you just enjoy the sun. You're bathing in the light of sweet, sweet poos.
Yes.
You're just taking a peek, but much like the sun, you don't stare directly at it. It's too powerful. You just bathe in its glory. You just take a peek, you stroll, and you consume the views.
That's all it is, because we were saying how being married men, this is great because we can just take a look and we're sunbathing. We're not actually looking into the sun. We're not taking our glasses off and walking towards the sun. We cannot do that. So what we do, so this way, because if not, it's too out of control. If you're single and free out there, it's too out of control. You want to talk to every single woman that walks by. It's too intoxicating. So it's nice to just be in a cage.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just say, I'm just going to go do a little sunbathing. I'm going to what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at a beautiful woman in the cafe. I'm going to take her in. I'm going to sunbathe. I might give a little sniff if I'm close enough. Take a little sunbathe, a little sniff, and then you go back. What you do is you do what we as good husbands do. We go back and then to our wives, and we are good husbands. And then when we eventually get to have sex with our wives, which is maybe, at the end of this calendar year or next year, we'll just think about those girls as we're having sex with our wife, because you don't control the empire in between my ears, which is my brain. That is for me.
That's for you.
Yeah.
That's your palace. That's your heaven or hell.
Yeah.
That's where the beam resides.
Yes.
Yeah, if you see me walking behind you and I start taking my clothes off down to a bathing suit, I'm just sunbathing.
That's all it is.
I'm just following your rays.
Yeah.
I'm basking in your warmth.
Yeah.
I'm taking a little sun.
Yeah, and if you ever see me and you say, "Oh, Chris, did you stop comedy? Are you a custodian now? Why do you have all these cleaning products around you?" It's just because there's hot women in the area.
Yeah. If you see me and Chrissy walking around, we got a tool belt on, and that tool belt is filled with Fabuloso, Windex, and other cleaning products, and we walk up to girls and we just give them a little spritz, it just means, hey, babe, I want to clean you.
That's what it is.
Yeah, if I do a little spritz and then Chrissy comes with a sponge and starts wiping her down, we're just cleaning.
If you ever see me walking by you and you say, "Oh, is that Robert Downey Jr. from Tropic Thunder?" It looks a lot like Chrissy D. Just know that I was just around a ton of hot women, and I just caught so much sun that I had to go into blackface.
You know what I love this podcast? You know why I really love it? It's a confusing place out there. People are overwhelmed. People are tired. They just have fatigue. Everyone is out there just pulling strings, manipulating them, trying to get them to believe this, that, the other thing. And you just come here and you get to just be yourself, be silly, be the person you were born.
Yeah.
Don't be the person that was made. You're the little child. You're the little kid. You're the innocent little baby Jesus. Before the world got a hold of you, before Edward Bernays and his methods got into their hooks into your brain, this is who you get to be when you come listen to us. We're just here to have a silly willy time.
That's all it is, and that's why with this world that we live in, where if you make one mistake, say one bad thing, especially on the internet, your whole life can be over. That's why we encourage you to go to patreon.com/historyhyenas and do what we do. We say whatever we want on the Patreon, and you, as the listener, can say and do whatever you want on the Patreon. That's why you're paying $5 or $10 a month to be free again, because we don't live in as free of a world as we used to. But patreon.com/historyhyenas, that's where the real freedom is, baby. That's where the freedom torches are.
We live in a distraction, attention economy, dictated by a Chinese algorithm, a For You algorithm based on interest that hooks you like a dopamine junkie.
Exactly.
And the Chinese won.
They won. That's why I said the other day that iPhones are just Chinese finger traps.
Yeah, that's
what they are.
Yeah, it's just about trending searches. You can do any sensationalist comment as long as it's about something that's bigger than you or trending, you'll get the attention. That's why you see extremists everywhere. I know it's exhausting everybody. So just come over to our podcast, take a deep breath, box breathe, and ask yourself, am I a cute kid? Because the answer is yes, because the way you should see yourself is the way your mom sees you. And it's often a lie.
It's what it is.
Your mom says you're the greatest, but she's lying. But who's to say what the truth is? Edward Bernays sure wouldn't.
Listen, Edward Bernays, if you don't know who this is, just know that the term public relation PR, he coined it, okay? Yeah. He is the father of modern day public relations PR and propaganda. The word propaganda is really only got a negative connotation because of the Nazis, because of Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda, which I call the real father of PR.
Well, you could say Edward Bernays crawled.
Right.
So Goebbels could walk.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
Because Goebbels actually was a big fan of Bernays. There was just one thing he wasn't a fan of.
Yeah, that's
his background.
Yeah, it's just what it is.
But he did consume his books, and he liked his work. And he was once quoted as saying, "We use the Jews' tricks against the Jews."
Yeah.
It's just what he said.
Just what he said.
Paraphrasing.
So Edward Bernays, who he is, we're going to talk all about him, modern day father of PR. What's very interesting about Edward Bernays is he had a very famous uncle. Do you know who his famous uncle was?
Was it Phil?
Yeah, no.
It wasn't Uncle Philip?
Edward Bernays' uncle, and he was actually a double nephew.
Oh, I thought you meant that he was the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. One time I called my mom when I was a little kid, and I just told her that Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air died, and it was just a prank. And she got so upset at me when she found out it wasn't true.
Because she went and lit a candle.
Yeah.
Yeah. She went and lit a candle for him.
And because I used to go to my Aunt Eileen house until my mom got home from work. And then
Which is basically your house just downstairs.
Just downstairs. Yeah. And so, but it was two houses in one. And she...
separated by a neutral staircase.
And I remember my mom getting upset with me as soon as she came in. She put down her bags from Stop and Shop. She had pizza from Joe and John's, and her face was always a little cold. And she said to me, she's like, "Why did you lie to me? You said that Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince had died, and you made that up." I was like, "Sorry, I was just doing a little prank." And then Aunt Eileen, I'll never forget, was smoking a cigarette, and she went, "Lynn, he's disturbed.
He's just a disturbed kid.
He's disturbed.
Christopher, you're disturbed."
Disturbed. And I would always walk upstairs with a half-eaten thing of saltine crackers and Arizona iced tea.
And then she said, "Christopher, get out of my house." Now, my question to you is, on what step were you out of her house?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because is it the fifth step? How many steps were there?
There was 14 steps in that
between
staircase.
the bottom and the top.
So I guess the seventh step. Well, we had in my apartment, in my staircase, there was a skylight that my uncle put in. So maybe when you started to see the light of the skylight, you were out. You were out of the darkness of downstairs and into the light of upstairs.
So once you got onto like the ninth step, you could turn around and just be like, "You can still hear me, but I'm not in your house.
Yeah.
I'm in my house.
I'm safe here.
I'm safe here."
Yeah.
That's
and if you come up any further up the stairs, my mom will throw a half polished off bottle of White Zinfandel at your head. But you know who his uncle was? Do you know who Edward Bernays' uncle was? This is true. Like, and this is like
Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud.
Whoa.
That's who it was. Sigmund Freud. Now, Sigmund Freud kind of taught Edward Bernays all the ways of kind of psychological, not even manipulation, just psychology. And what Edward Bernays saw is during wartime, the term was propaganda, right? And how they needed to use the United States, and Sigmund Freud and everybody needed to use propaganda during World War I to get masses of people to do what they wanted to, for the war effort. But Edward Bernays said, if it can work during wartime, it can probably work even better during peacetime. And the term propaganda got a negative connotation because of Joseph Goebbels and the Nazis. So Edward Bernays just conveniently changed the word propaganda to public relations. But when you hear today, your PR agent is just a propagandist Nazi like Joseph Goebbels.
Edward Bernays, not talked about enough. The father of PR, he loved that term.
Oh, yeah.
He was an interesting guy who liked not getting the credit. He thought the message should get the credit but he felt very ego. His ego was very tied to how good his work was.
Well, the part that he had right is he did not want to be famous.
No.
He wanted to be in the background and just make the money. So that's
But
good.
then on the other side, he kind of did want to be famous because he did make public appearances. He did write books.
Right.
Yada, 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 yada.
Yeah.
But he is an interesting guy that was Sigmund Freud's nephew, was close to Sigmund Freud, would go back in summers in Vienna, was born in Vienna, but emigrated to New York, ended up getting an apartment on the Upper East Side with his family, and then moved to Long Island where he learned how to be a criminal.
It's just what it is.
The kid grew up in Long Island. His dad was a merchant, made a lot of money, so he grew up rich. But he was a guy that really admired his uncle. He actually carried a picture of his uncle in his wallet.
Sigmund Freud.
Yeah, no, Edward Bernays.
Oh, Edward Bernays carried a picture of his uncle, Sigmund Freud.
Sigmund Freud. He had a picture in his wallet of Sigmund Freud and his daughter Anna. His daughter Anna was not a fan and wrote a book about him that was kind of telling, called him a control freak and all that. But if you go to his background to start it, he admired Sigmund Freud. He consumed all those books and was heavily influenced by Sigmund Freud, took those methods and put them into the marketplace.
And even furthermore, Edward Bernays' ideas that he wrote between the 1920s and the late 1930s, Joseph Goebbels, of the top propagandist chief of the Nazis, it's no debating. He said it publicly. I took Edward Bernays' book and I applied it to the propaganda of the Nazis. So that's just what it was.
He was just a big fan, like I said. He was a big fan of the work. He was a big fan of the message, not the messenger.
So let me, and also, and we'll explain everything about Edward Bernays, but something interesting too that happens is, even the reason we even know about Sigmund Freud in the level that we know about him is because of Edward Bernays, because at the end, Sigmund Freud's he lost his whole fortune during the Great Depression.
Blew it up his nose.
Yeah, he blew it up his nose and he lost everything. He lost all his savings. So he needed a way to make money. So Edward Bernays was able to through public relations, he started getting Sigmund Freud's books sold in a major way. And what he did, which is still being done today, which is what, again, only when I got into the career of entertainment did I realize how much I was being manipulated by entertainment my whole life. What Bernays did back in 1930-something, which, again, still done today all the time, is he made Sigmund Freud's books controversial. He made them controversial in an effort for you to start talking about and buy them. Just like Sydney Sweeney, perfect example, last month, the jeans controversy. How could American Eagle do that? It was on purpose. They knew that people were going to get upset. So that's my thing that you constantly see is whether you're angry at the left or the right, whether you're angry at the jeans or not, you're being manipulated constantly. Constantly you're being manipulated.
The really interesting thing to me about Edward Bernays, the thing that's most salient about his story.
Salient's a good word.
It's a good word.
I like to put salient drops in my eyes when they get dry.
That's where they go. Is that it really is a real world case study about how right Sigmund Freud was about the unconscious. That we're all driven by these unconscious desires. I mean, it's the biggest case study ever done. It's a whole country, a whole world where Edward Bernays said, this is how my uncle said the human psyche functions. Let me take that and implement that into the real world for dollar signs and for power, and it works. It worked every way. The reason why we eat bacon at breakfast, the reason why we smoked cigarettes, the list goes on and on and on and on and on for how he used cognitive biases that he learned from his uncle, our unconscious drives, sexuality, latent violence, all the things. We're all just drooling babies.
It's just what it is.
And he capitalized on that.
Yes, because what Sigmund Freud referred to this as the engineering of consent. Basically, he said, all you have to do is manipulate large groups of people to consent to a thing. So Edward Bernays did not he never thought about one person. He only thought about people in groups. He never, ever, ever. And
his favorite cognitive bias was the herd.
The herd. And he constantly, according to
You'll follow the group. Yeah.
He constantly called everyone stupid. The herd was stupid. His kids were stupid. Everybody was just stupid idiots. But he was constantly but his thought process was, rather than being like, oh, these people are so stupid and I'm a bit smarter than them and I can, I should stop manipulating them. He was like, hey, if I'm smarter than you and you're going to let me manipulate you, I'm going to do it all day and get rich often. Now, the bacon and eggs is a very interesting thing because before this idea, so basically what happened, there was a company. Jesse, if you could Google, what was the company, the bacon company that was struggling?
It was a bacon company, yeah.
But it was a company, where was it? The Beech Nut Packing Company. They hired Edward Bernays to increase sales of its bacon. So they took a gamble. Beech Nut Packing Company took a gamble. Nobody was eating bacon anymore. Their sales were suffering. So Bernays comes up with the idea that says, let me talk to doctors. People trust doctors, no? Let me talk to doctors and see if they'll basically work with me and they conduct some kind of study, which is, you're not really lying, but you kind of are. You're like fudging the results to show you that having bacon and eggs, much heartier breakfast, will be better for you. Because before then, light breakfast was the way, which is the way it should be. That's why the term is breakfast, break fast. So the way that we were doing it for 200 years was the right way. They would eat a very, very light breakfast. In Europe, they still do that. They'll have like a very light pastry, a light fruit. They're not eating these hearty things. This is an American thing. So he convinces people, puts out all these commercials that says 5,000 physicians confirm the finding that bacon and eggs is the healthiest way to start the day. And then boom, now we have bacon and eggs and Denny's and just fat people walking around because of Edward Bernays. And the media blitz came with scientific evidence. Bernays said he contacted all his media friends and he said, put this out there. Put it out there in the papers, on the news. Breakfast improves the health of the American people, and the healthiest breakfast is bacon and eggs. So if you're eating a bacon and egg right now while you're listening to us jerking off in your truck on I-95, just know, baby gorgeous, that you got manipulated by Edward Bernays.
There's somebody driving on the highway right now who has a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich in their hand, and they just squirted ketchup all over their jeans.
Yeah,
because they're like, is he looking at me? Is he watching me?
Yes.
Yeah. The reason why bacon is part of the American breakfast is directly because of Edward Bernays.
Directly because of Edward Bernays. He made, because you know. really, even all breakfast foods, like really what you should be having for breakfast is like grilled chicken and sweet potatoes. Like have something high, but we would say, no, that's a lunch.
Yeah.
All these things are just ideas that PR has made. Bernays is responsible for most of them, but other people are responsible. Why do you, when you eat a muffin for breakfast, you're just eating a piece of cake.
Yeah.
That's all you're eating is a piece of cake. They just call it a muffin. So your brain thinks it's not cake, it's cake.
Yeah.
It's dessert.
What he knew, and Edward Bernays was the one that coined that term manufactured consent, which basically just means...
No, what was it? It wasn't manufactured consent. It was consent of the... What was it?
Manufactured consent, I think. Or,
what? No, engineering of consent.
But I think it's... Can you look it up? Manufactured consent? Maybe I'm wrong. Basically what that means is, hey, I'm selling you the story, the narrative, and then you make the choice, and you think you chose it, but I just nudged you into that choice.
Right.
I created the game, and you chose what I wanted you to choose.
Yeah.
So he also was hired by this toothpaste company, and he came up with this campaign about smiling.
Right.
And so he's like, you don't want to have an ugly smile. Right? So everyone was brushing their teeth or whatever, but he put shame on people. He marketed shame, that if your teeth weren't white and clean with this product, you were going to be ashamed.
And then that's
sales went through the roof.
That's why you have fluoride in the water right now. That's why if you live, especially in New York, and there's fluoride in our water.
I don't know if that's true.
No, he's huge. Google Edward Bernays and fluoride, and even furthermore with the smile.
Yeah.
All pictures before Bernays got involved, you didn't smile in pictures. If you look at pictures in the 1800s, early 1900s, nobody's smiling. It wasn't a thing. He made smiling a thing.
Yeah. Well, I think also because they lived in the past.
Right.
So it's not fun.
Right.
It's not fun when you got fumes.
So, yeah. So fluoride, Bernays was hired to solve this problem. In the 1930s and 40s, the aluminum industry.
Wow, I didn't know this.
Or if you're listening in England, the aluminum. What is it? Aluminum. We say aluminum, but what do they say? Aluminium.
Why not?
Yeah. Industry grew. So fluoride waste was a problem. So all these lawsuits, how do you properly dispose of the fluoride, blah, blah, blah. Bernays comes in and uses the psychoanalytic techniques that he learned from Freud, that he's the master of PR here. So he says, because Sigmund Freud knew you got to bypass rational thought and influence, and then you got to tap into the public's subconscious desires. It's all about deep in the subconscious, the herd.
Yeah.
He knew that. So Bernays understood that the public is going to accept new ideas, especially when endorsed by figures of authority. So he worked with the U.S. Public Health Service and leveraged the American Dental Association to promote the idea that water fluoridation was safe and beneficial for dental health, but we don't know that it was.
Holy fuck, I didn't know that.
There it is, because Bernays is still inside you.
Yeah, holy shit. But is there science that says that it is good for you?
So here, scroll down a little bit. At this time, at the time that he did this, fluoride was known as the active ingredient in rat poison.
Holy mother of Jesus.
Bernays' campaign successfully rebranded it as a key ingredient for gleaming, healthy teeth and a beautiful smile. The campaign strategically suppressed information about fluoride's toxicity and other potential side effects and instead focused on the positive emotional appeal of a perfect smile, which is a common psychological marketing technique Bernays mastered. So fluoride at very, very low levels is safe, which is what we have it at, whatever it is, 0.007, decadix, whatever the hell they measure it in. So it's safe. But fluoride in and of itself was just known as rat poison, to the people in the 1920s.
And they had a waste problem, so they decided to put it in the water.
It's what it is. And then I'm going to tell you right after this how he killed about 3 million women. Right after this ad from Lucy Nicotine.
Waste on Shein.
Yeah. All right. So quick message from today's sponsor, the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. Yanni's going to tell you all about it because he loves pets and he loves health insurance. And I want to get some health insurance because some of my kids are like pets.
I got 2 dogs. Guys, get yourself some pet insurance. And the ASPCA, always doing good work, helping out dogs. So guys, your pet is part of the family and you'd pretty much do anything for them. But those vet bills, they can add up quicker than you'd think. That's why it's worth checking out ASPCA Pet Health Insurance. Pet insurance can help manage the vet bills so you can focus on what really matters, making sure your pets get the care they need when they need it. Oh, and here's a little bonus. There's a perk for enrolling.
Yeah.
When you enroll in the ASPCA Pet health insurance plan, you can get a $25 Amazon gift card. It's a little treat for you while you're doing something great for your pet.
And you can do whatever you want because a guy like Sergio Chacon will get that pet health insurance. See, it's interesting, right? Sergio's interesting. He'll get the ASPCA pet health insurance program for a snake, but then he'll use the $25 Amazon gift card to buy rats for a snake.
Yes.
Right? So, which is okay.
Yes. The program offers customizable accident and illness plans, making it easier to get your pet the care they need. To explore coverage, visit ASPCApetinsurance.com/hyenas. That's ASPCApetinsurance.com/hyenas. Eligibility restrictions apply. Visit ASPCApetinsurance.com/Amazon terms for more info.
This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independence American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. I mean, cuz you know me, on the outside, I'm a white man. On the inside, I'm a black man. And on the inside, that means I have what? Soul. Yeah, I love Soul, which is a wellness brand that believes feeling good should be fun and easy. Soul specializes in delicious hemp-derived THC and CBD products designed to boost your mood and help you unwind. And because I had a little bit of a ding-dong weekend, I needed some Soul CBD to just calm down and unwind.
CBD works for me. It calms you down. They're best-selling out-of-office gummies were designed to provide a mild, relaxing buzz, boost your mood, and enhance creativity and relaxation. With 5 different strengths, you can tailor the dose to fit your vibe. From a gentle 1.5 milligram microdose to their newest 15 milligram gummy for our more experienced CBD.
Shoot you into outer space. I want to do a 15 milligram Soul gummy with Nick and go see Shakespeare in the Park.
Yeah, that's what we want.
That's what I want to go do. Bring on the good vibes and treat yourself to Soul today. Right now, Soul is offering my audience 30% off your entire order. Go to getsoul.com and use the code HistoryHyenas. That's getsoul.com, promo code HistoryHyenas for 30% off. Cuz, the torches of freedom. I don't want, if Aunt Eileen's listening right now, she needs to shut it off. She needs to shut it off because he got women to smoke big
Lucky Strikes
cigarettes. So if you know about Lucky Strike cigarettes, cuz, tell him what happened.
Wow. So Lucky Strike approached him and he goes, hey, we got to get women smoking. And he goes, okay, what are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
And he got a nice fat check. And he said, what we're going to do, I think the color of the box was green.
Yes.
Green was not fashionable. So what he did was he paid all these models and influencers to start wearing green.
Yeah.
So there was advertisements with women in green. So green became fashionable. So the box became fashionable. And then he paid a bunch of these chicks to walk around and smoke at beauty pageants.
So that, and then there's a huge parade that would always get a lot of press, the Easter parade in New York City, which I don't think they do anymore, right? Or if they do, it's not as big. If you go back, Jesse, to so what he did was this this huge Easter parade that they have. It was 1929. He hired, as you said, the young, fashionable, basically hot sex symbol women.
They were basically the influencers of their day.
And what he did was, though, he knew they were going to, all these pictures, he had them hide the cigarettes. So it wasn't like, oh, look at us taking the cigarettes out now. They were casually smoking cigarettes, and then the photographers were taking pictures of all these women with cigarettes, but it was subconscious marketing. There was no ad for Lucky Strike.
It's like freedom, rebellion against the male patriarchy.
Exactly. And the real reason what he did is he spoke to a psychologist. He didn't speak to Sigmund Freud. He spoke to another psychologist, a very prominent psychologist. He said the reason why, what a cigarette really is it's a penis. That's what it kind of looks like. That's what it symbolizes. The penis symbolizes power. So you want to give women penises.
And put them in their mouth.
And the way you give women penises is you give them cigarettes.
Yeah.
Now you could do it in a different way.
Yeah.
Now you could just cut off a piece of your ass and you can make yourself a penis.
Yeah.
And then I'll
that.
You can cut yours off and hand it to them.
Yeah, now Edward Bernays would have to have a different marketing technique because if you want to give women penises, you don't need to do it with cigarettes.
Yeah, because his uncle thought that women all had penis envy and they all secretly, unconsciously wanted penises.
Yeah, I mean, there's just a teacher in my daughter's school who's just a woman with a penis. And then my daughter came home and said, what, that's okay, right? I said, yeah, just look at your uncle.
Yeah. Well, that was...
And then I just showed her a video of Maurice at That's It. I said, that's Daddy's work friend. Look at him. that's a woman with the penis. Everybody's okay, honey.
Everyone's okay.
And she said, okay.
And then you just put on Bob Dylan and you said, the times, they are changing.
What it is.
Yeah, because, listen, that was some of the stuff that Sigmund Freud wasn't exactly correct about. That's
Like
why he did a little too much blow. I think the unconscious drives of sex, Oedipal complex, things like that, all those things, the unconscious drives, shame, all that stuff, sex, blah, 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 aggression, latent aggression, all those things were true. The id, the superego, the ego, all that stuff is more true. But the whole penis envy thing, I think, is really when he went off the reservation a little bit because, I mean, all you got to do is look at Elliot Page.
Yeah.
Yeah. She wanted the opposite. She wanted to get rid of the penis.
Right. It's what it is.
Yeah. Buck Angel, you know?
Yeah.
He does not, well, that's the opposite.
Buck Angel is
Buck
Angel's a diesel guy with a puss.
Yeah, he was a puss, and he wanted to be a guy.
No, but Buck Angel was born a woman and became a guy, but he kept his puss.
But you know, if he wants to be a guy, he'd want the peen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So basically, if you could bang out Buck Angel and you're not gay.
Yeah.
Because he's got a full puss.
Yeah, but that's the confusing thing because...
It's if you got a puss, that's the way I see it.
Because when I look at Buck Angel, there is zero attraction. When I look at Karma Carrera, I want to clean.
If you have sex with that guy, you are not gay, my friend, because he has a
because if I saw that guy walking down the street, the last thing I would think is I want to bang that out.
Yeah, it's what it is. Yeah.
But he certainly has a puss.
He's got a puss, and Aaron Berg's going to play him in the movie.
It's crazy. But, you know, that's the thing with trans. It's like if I'm banging her or him, I'm banging him, and I'm like, I would have to keep...
Look at him getting his snatch eaten. Yeah. Down, look, scroll down a little bit.
If I was banging him, I would have to keep repeating to myself while I was banging him, he's got a puss. He's got a puss. This isn't gay. This isn't gay.
Now, cuz, look at this. See that photo down there right to the left, the guy eating him out? If you are able...
that's fucking mind-blowing.
Cuz, if that was one of those, like, moving images, you could see, when that guy turns to the left, you'll see someone you recognize, and it's me.
Lad of 14.
Cuz, what would you do if you saw that he turns around, it was just Chrissy? I mean, now, here's the thing, cuz. Here's the thing. Okay, I think that, you know... With this, going back to the Edward Bernays, the smoking, the torches of freedom, what it was too is, you know, back then they didn't really know the implications of smoking. I mean, I remember being a kid in the 80s and early 90s where they were still promoting cigarettes.
Well, doctors actually smoked back then. A lot of people did smoke. Smoking became a thing. It was addictive. It was cool. There were campaigns about smoking. There was advertising about smoking. But what he did is he went and seduced a whole bunch of doctors. He didn't even really pay them off. He'd give them free cartons and say, hey, will you just sign off and say that smoking relieves stress? And those doctors were like, yeah, that's when I smoke. I relieve stress.
Yeah.
So he just got a lot of doctors, and then he went, boom, he said $2,000, 2,000 or 20,000 doctors from this organization agree.
Yeah.
It relieves stress. And people were like, all right. So it's basically fake science, fake news.
Yes.
What it is. I'm just joking. I don't know that for a fact.
Yes, and we're telling that directly to the algorithm. He you know, later on in life did regret, because I think one study said that this campaign alone probably killed something like 3 million women.
It's what it is.
It's what it is.
I like to say it like this. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is. I mean, Hitler got 6 million. He got 3.
It's what it is.
So it's what it is. German efficiency wins.
Yeah.
Lad of 14.
So, yeah, it's just, you know, this whole idea of women having their own penises via cigarettes, and that torches of freedom, women's suffrage, all that stuff, they capitalize. So it's just kind of, you know, we're still getting manipulated by him to this day, by the fluoride, you know, athletes and entertainers and all that stuff promoting products. How you'll see like LeBron James or Tom Brady in every commercial now. That's also Edward Bernays. Did you know that?
Yeah, well, because his whole thing was like, you don't sell the product, you sell a story. You sell a narrative based on these unconscious urges,
which
subconscious urges.
Every PR person does. We all kind of know that now, but the key is he was the first one to do it before Bernays. If there was no Edward Bernays, public relations wouldn't be how they are today. Because basically what happens is before this, in the all of American time, the 1800s, 1900s, you were just products were promoted because of necessity. You needed a car to get from point A to point B. You needed a coat to survive the winter. You needed food. It wasn't wanting. Nothing was about wants. It was just, what are my basic needs?
Right.
Then he changed it from needs to wants, and that's big.
Yeah.
That's the major thing, because now the whole idea of a department store, this whole idea of mass producing clothes and shoes and manufacturers in general, Edward Bernays. Yeah. He was the one that said, if we're going to have all these items and we need a department store, I need to be able to corral the people into it, like literal cows to their slaughter. He was like, I need to corral them into a place. So that's when they invented Macy's.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is.
The kid was raised as a secular Jew, so he wasn't very religious.
What does that mean, a secular Jew?
Secular Jew means somebody who will bang a goyim.
So goyim's like a dirty non-Jew.
Yeah.
Like I'm a goyim.
You're a goy.
I'm a dirty goyim.
Yeah, you're a goy.
I'm a goy boy.
You're a goy boy.
I'm a goy boy. So Jesse's a secular Jew.
Jesse's a goy big.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he's only half too, and he's a fucking goy big.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid will eat bacon. The kid will fucking he touch light switches all the time.
Now, because I'm a non-Jew who likes Puerto Ricans, I'm a goy for Goya.
You're a Jew predator.
I'm a goy for Goya, right? Or am I just a Goya?
Cuz when a fucking Jew looks at you, he sees a Komodo dragon.
It's what it is.
You're a Jew predator because your face says get ins easy bake.
Yeah, Edward Bernays, I would like to just punch him in the face. And not because he almost tried to kill my Aunt Eileen, just because of some other thing.
Lad 14. What I was about to say is his religion, if there was such a thing, the closest religion he had was capitalism.
Right.
He was a zealot for capitalism. He believed in it. So he didn't think anything he was doing was wrong. And you can make an argument like, was it wrong? I mean, what he would say is people are going to be led one way or the other.
Yes.
Whether it's going to be bacon for breakfast or pancakes. It's like, what he was basically saying is people aren't rational. They're not reasonable. They want to feel.
Right.
All right. So that's
which is true.
He basically started from, hey, you need this to wash your clothes, to, do you want to be fucking cool?
Yeah.
You want to be fucking cool? You want to be like Mike? Do you want to be like fucking Mike? That was Edward Bernays.
Yes.
And you go, yeah, I want to be like Mike. Do you want to fucking be like LeBron James? Well, then drink the drink that he fake drinks in the commercial. Yeah, because his nutritionist would never allow him to fucking touch a Sprite.
No.
But he got paid $2 million to subconsciously invade your brain and have you affiliate with the fucking one of the most elite athletes created by the Chinese government, who is sustained by fucking the cutting edge of science, and the shittiest drink that causes cancer will make you fat. They'll put those two things together, and you'll just go, I want to be like LeBron, and you'll drink a Sprite.
Yeah, you'll just drink a
Sprite.
Sprite.
So they just fucking lie to you, and we eat it up.
Well, also, what I think, too, is because this
that hairline is fake.
Yeah, this is all created by the Chinese, is that because Sprite has that, yellow 6 stuff in it, whatever.
And I just drank a fucking Zin.
It's just what it is. You're on fire. Well, they probably do this. They use somebody like LeBron, the Chinese marketing, because they know that a lot of people will buy Sprites just because LeBron's holding it, and they'll kill the sperm, and they'll decrease our population that way. Yeah, that's what they're doing.
That's what they're doing. What the Chinese have done is they've used a variation of Bernays in a way, right? So what the Chinese have done is they invented TikTok. ByteDance is a Chinese company that invented TikTok, and what made their algorithm revolutionary was it was all about, using those subconscious kind of urges, sex, shame, sensational fucking narratives to get you hooked and keep you speedy and scrolling and hook you on dopamine using sexy girl dancing.
Yeah, anytime you see a TikTok dance go viral, that's the seeds of that are in Edward Bernays. There's a Chinese Edward Bernays out there.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Charlie D'Amelio, is that her name?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Charlie D'Amelio, the girls want to look like that, and the boys want to go, oh my God, how old is she? What is she? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah.
She's fertile.
She's
fertile.
Fertile murder.
So when the guys look at that, they just see fertility.
That's all they, It's
a deep, deep rooted thing.
It's just they want to have sex with it.
And then you're glued to that. And then, so the algorithm goes, gotcha. And then you scroll again. There's another one. Another one. Was the other one called? D'Amelio, whatever her fucking name.
Addison Rae.
Addison Rae's on there, and then the next thing you know, it's all these white girls going dancing to fucking hip hop. They're dancing to all fucking drill rap with curses, and then they go shh on the N word. They go, and then the N word comes up in the song, and they go shh.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, your fucking brain is mush, you're addicted, and you're confused.
Guys, it's the only thing to do is for us to take our wives and our daughters to China. Should we just move to China? Is that the only way to stay safe?
I'm not ready to accept defeat yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
I'm going to go to Taiwan and I'm going to fight with them.
Now,
When the Chinese attack, I'm just joining the Taiwanese just like the North Koreans are fucking in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I'm going to Taiwan. I'm going to fight with my I like to call those the good Chinese.
the good Chinese.
Wei
Now,
Songxian.
right after this break, we're going to tell you how Edward Bernays took down a bunch of fruits. So do you know about the United Fruit Company, which me and you are proud members of?
Yeah, now this is where you really see.
This is where the horns come out.
Wei Songxian.
I just meant because he's not. I just meant
Yeah.
he's a little devilish.
Yeah, right.
Because the horns come out.
This is where the
Line 14.
This is where the horns come out. When Edward Bernays, he worked with the United Fruit Company.
Yeah.
Okay?
And the CIA.
Yeah. Now it's better known as the United Homo.
Because he was making like $1,500 a day in that money back then.
So you're talking about
CIA he was on the payroll with the CIA.
Big money.
Daily.
big money.
Yeah.
So the United Fruit Company, 1950s, Edward Bernays is working with them to orchestrate a public relations campaign, aka a propaganda campaign. From now on in your life, every time you see the words PR, public relations, just know that it's propaganda. They just changed the word because propaganda has a negative connotation, but it is absolutely propaganda, just like a muffin is cake, and it will raise your LDLs. So would lead to so Edward Bernays worked with United Fruit Company 1950s to orchestrate a public relations campaign that would lead to the 1954 Guatemalan coup d'etat. Are you Guatemalan?
No.
Uruguay.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I thought it was sorry. Uruguay is the one we can't talk crap about.
No, Uruguay. Why?
Because he's upset. We said don't talk about Uruguay. That's where he's from.
Yeah, but does he look like a kid who is nationalistic Uruguayan?
No.
Yeah, he looks like the kid that would get the most upset if we said something bad about Tennessee Williams.
Yeah. Okay. So the 1954 Guatemalan coup d'etat.
Yeah.
The company, which had a huge economic presence in Central America, United Fruit Company, was threatened by the democratically elected government of President Jacobo Arbenz, who had initiated an agrarian reform program to redistribute uncultivated land, including a large portion owned by United Fruit, to landless peasants. He basically wanted to just give the land. He wanted to give the land back to the people a little bit.
People, it was, he was going, hey, you got your company is in here, and you're.
He was like, I don't want you guys to have to just cut clips and do Shakespeare. I want you to live off the land.
Yeah, he's basically going, you're raping our resources. This is what made communism so popular. Going, hey, these peasants are living in poverty. You're just taking all the resources from here and selling them. And you're going, yeah, that's what Western imperialism does.
So you say, because you're listening to that, you're saying, okay, that's a good thing. President Jacobo Arbenz is he's trying to
help his people.
He's just a good guy. He's trying to make Guatemala great again. We support that. And then, but
basically, he was trying to do like a Guatemala first.
Yes,
it's basically what it was.
Respect that.
Yeah,
I was going for that.
Yeah, it was a gama.
Yeah,
it was Guatemala. It was a magagaga.
Yeah, it was
make. No, it was a juju. It was a juja.
Make Guatemala great again. But anyway, so Edward Bernays, right? Edward Bernays' campaign instead aimed to frame Arbenz as a communist puppet of the Soviet Union, playing on Cold War fears in the U.S., and he went back into his bag of horn tricks, and he organized fact-finding trips to Guatemala for influential journalists and members of Congress, carefully controlling their itineraries to present a distorted, anti-Arbenz view of the country. So he basically had paid actors out there saying, we don't like him, Arbenz, he's bad, he's a communist, blah, blah, blah. Then he disseminated press releases and planted stories in major newspapers and magazines that painted the United Fruit as a victim of communism and a champion against it. Then he created a front organization called the Middle America Information Bureau to distribute propaganda and influence public opinion. The campaign successfully convinced American policymakers and the public that the democratically elected government of Guatemala was a threat to U.S. national security. We've heard that a million times. Bernays' efforts helped create the political climate and public support necessary for the CIA to carry out a coup, codenamed Operation PBS Success, which overthrew Arbenz and installed a military dictatorship. And Edward Bernays just sat down and had a little locks.
Ladder 14.
A little celebratory schmear.
He had a little lox and cream cheese on a bagel.
Yeah.
Way
And
song
sat down and
Sheen.
did an interview with David Letterman, and that's just what I call an evil guy.
That's just how the cookie crumbled.
It's just what it
It's
is.
just what he did.
It's what he did. He caused a coup to get.
He advised
literally-
on a coup.
He advised
came up with
on a
the idea
coup.
on how to do it.
And he destabilized Central America, which, by the way, a lot of countries, United States, that's what they do.
Yeah.
That's what we do. So we're just a part of that. But just know that, this to me is the worst one. He really destroyed Guatemala.
He didn't help it.
He didn't help it.
He
No.
didn't go down there and extend a hand. And similarly, at the World Fair,
He had a cinnamon raisin bagel and a little Manischewitz, and he just sat down with his horns.
yeah, and then
Lab 14.
He convinced all South America during the World's Fair that, hey, we're not so bad. He started pushing the culture in South America and Americanized them and said, hey, let's just do commerce, which in his mind was the right thing. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. Maybe business is good. Listen, one of the most ironic things, now don't take this any which way. I'm just going to state the facts, okay? This is just the facts.
Tell me.
One of the most ironic things.
You're about to give us a truth baiter
This
Ginsburg.
is the truth Bader Ginsburg,
Got
is
it.
what I'm about to say. One of the most ironic things, right? Most people who are communist or, just like socialist, whatever that means, right? Well, we could talk about that. But always go, oh, these economies didn't work because of capitalist embargoes, because of, capitalist exploitation, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's true. I'll extend that olive branch. But one thing is for certain. When it comes to communist countries that became powerhouses, the mechanism by which they became a powerhouse was capitalist tools, right? You look at Vietnam, right? Poor country, right? Then they had economic reforms. They allowed private markets, a hybrid with the communist oversight, whatever. So what? You get your head cut off, but you can still make money.
Right.
You look at China. So one of the most ironic things that I guess Marx didn't foresee, that it seems if you look at real world data, the only thing that works as a propeller for communism is a capitalist market, which is very ironic.
Which is China is not going to be as powerful as they are right now without low capitalism.
In what was it, 30, 40 years, they're a world power now because of capitalist reforms. Look at Vietnam is a perfect example because it was the most recent. Vietnam was just like no education. Like if you look at the stats, it's gone from like 7% of the population to like 80% of the population is educated. They've been lifted out of poverty. These are just facts.
Right.
Do with them what you will. Those are just facts. It's just ironic that capitalism is the only thing that works.
Right.
For communists.
But still, Edward Bernays was kind of a douche for doing this United Fruit Company thing to what country? Guatemala.
He was definitely at the very least a mixed bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was definitely a mixed bag. And, because like you said, at the time, how aware were they that cigarettes killed like they did? They weren't aware as much. Sure, the coughing probably tipped them off. Right. It wasn't great.
Well, the tortures of women thing, I get that. The tortures of women thing, I could see how, and later on in life, he did say, I feel bad about that one. But he knew what he was doing in Guatemala.
He knew what he was doing, but he thought it was the right thing. He thought communism was an evil.
Right.
So he thought he was doing the right thing.
Right.
Was it the right thing? Probably not.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, he took the land. The people who were so already dirt poor could have just made a little shmoney off the land.
Yeah. It's just the thing about communism is you just go, have you met people?
Right.
It's one of those things where you go like, this is a great idea.
Right.
Like a perfect circle.
Right.
But once you impregnate it into reality, somebody's got to be in charge.
Right.
And what ends up happening is the government just becomes the one corporation.
Right.
That runs everything, and it just turns into a dictatorship.
Well,
look at Kim Jong-un. The kid is fine for food. He's got too much.
Yeah.
He's got fucking Patrick Ewing's haircut.
Yeah.
He's watching American movies.
Oh, 100%.
I understand the streets are clean and everyone is fucking fine and whatever, but like Kim Jong-un is definitely better than the rest of the people.
Now you want to?
I think communism just means you all have the right to be the same amount poor.
You're right. Now
That's what the equality means.
You want a one world government, big.
No,
you want it bad.
I'm just saying. We can look back.
Want one.
We can look back at Edward Bernays and say, "Wow, what a bad guy." And probably was. I mean, his daughter wrote a book about him, saying he was a control freak and fucking, he was,
called everybody stupid all the time.
He was always performative. His whole life was performance art. He even wrote his eulogies in his diary. He lived to 103, by the way.
Yeah, the kid was not stressed out.
His wife said that his daughter said he's constantly having nightmares about his campaigns going wrong or whatever.
But how did he live to 103 with all that stress?
He said he smoked cigars till he was 95.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how he lived that long, but it seems like demons last forever and the good die young.
It's just what it is.
Yeah, I mean, was he probably not a great guy? Probably not.
Right.
I mean, supposedly, I think he was a control freak. I think he would go to escorts. The most we know is he would go to escorts, but he claimed he was doing research with them.
Yeah.
He said he was checking on the
just
cigarettes.
Like Gandhi was just praying with the 12-year-old niece who was naked in the bed.
Right. He stayed with his wife. His wife stayed with him. They had a pretty boring life.
Because it's easy to stay with the wife when you're getting a little escorts. Maybe that's why he lived to 103. Vote Mom Donnie, bring out the toots.
威上線。
Yeah. I mean, I just got a head rush because, like we said, there are two demographics that are going to be going big for Mom Donnie, and that's young, unemployed, angry kids who feel like Matt Rife is Donald Trump, and the other ones are going to be married guys who are looking for a little loophole.
I want it. So basically, we want to ask you.
One group of people want to rebel against the podcast bros. Yeah, that's become the new pejorative, the podcast bros.
Edward Bernays, okay, villain, hero, yo no sé, you got to tell us in the comments, okay? Just know that you're eating bacon, smoking cigarettes, going to Guatemala. It's all because of Edward Bernays.
Just know that engineered consent, manufactured consent, what you want to call it, is how capitalism runs.
Say that to a girl you're trying to have sex with tonight.
Yeah.
Say I'd like to engineer some consent.
Well, yeah, we all have these cognitive biases, and the more you're aware of them, the more you can protect your own individualism and your own soul, because it's out there.
Right.
A lot of times it's not even that evil. It's just, hey, sometimes the product is good and it just needs a little narrative to sell it. I mean, but Edward Bernays really is the father of advertising. He's the father of marketing. We are really not the United States of America. We are the United States of advertising. We run on that.
We're the United States of Edward Bernays.
We're the United States of Edward Bernays. Like, Jesse, Edward Bernays is a big figure in advertising, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean, like you said, a lot of his ideas permeated. But when I got into it, it was more about parody. A lot of the products were parody products, right? Like sneakers are all basically the same, just different logos. So it was about branding, right? We're building brands.
Well,
what does
building
that
brands
mean?
because of building a lifestyle, selling the lifestyle. You're not buying the sneakers, the Jordans, because they're more comfortable or do anything different than a bullshit pair of Rockports. It's Jordans are cool, Rockports are not. And that's Bernays did that. Bernays is the one that said, make it cool, right? Exactly. That's what it is. You're buying cool and lifestyle. You're not, because you're buying the want, not the need. That's the fundamental thing that Bernays changed. Before there would have been no Jordan sneakers because all the shoes are just for need. So that all the shoes look the same, feel the same.
Yeah.
But he's buying the want.
Yeah.
He made it a want, which is a smart thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're saying here. That's why we're telling you go to patreon.com/historyhyenas. It's because you want to be free.
Yeah.
And actually, you need to be free.
Well,
patreon.com/historyhyenas should be an American institution.
Well, the thing is, I think people are tired, dude.
Yes.
I think people are exhausted. I really do think that they're tired.
Right.
I think people just have fatigue. I think they have some sort of insight into being manipulated, not just by mass media, not just by mainstream media, but now by people on the internet. And they're just tired of feeling the strings,
Right.
And it feels good to be selling a product that we're not selling.
Right.
Just come over here and have that inner child, the one that Edward Bernays knew we all had, and he manipulated. We want to get in touch with that thing and just give you a little tickle. We want to play coochie coo with you.
That's what we want to do.
All we're here is to have a good time and to feel free. You're in your car right now, you're at the gym, or you're sitting in your bed, you got your cock in your hand, and you're watching us on a screen.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you can be who you really are, not the mask you wear for society.
Yes.
You're a member of Antifa? Put your shield down.
Yeah.
Come here and enjoy an hour of coochie coup.
Coochie coup.
You're a freedom boy. They always got some American name, which I love. If you're part of the Captain America children, if you're part of the Proud USA, if you're part of the Hulk Hogan tribe, whatever your fucking far right it's called, take off your American flag fucking shirt.
Yeah.
Pull down your ice mask and take out your dick and your cock and say, I'm a cute fucking kid and have a good time with us for an hour and then come over to patreon.com/historyhyenas where we will give you the secret to the thetans who are controlling our mind because we live in a prison planet.
It's what it is.
And that's the highest level of our cult.
And that's all Truth Bader Ginsburg and the newest members of the Patreon who joined over the last couple of weeks who make a funny name. We read them out loud and then we pick a winner, a pseudo penis of the week because hyenas have pseudo penises. Welcome to the matriarchy, our newest members of the group. Leading us off, we have full-blown Lebaneser that can make Chrissy cackle if he grabs his ankles. It's my character piece, ladder 14.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, grabs his ankles. It's funny. Little rim job.
That's a good way to get a rim job is to grab your ankles. Also a good stretch. You get a good stretch in.
Then we got Yamzors, Zach Huffstutler, Hassalid Geef, Ryan Sinclair, Cesar Ramos, Carolyn Sue. Then we got Mamdani. I got elected, and now my halali is tickling. I don't know, what's a halali?
Well, because one of the videos, one of his campaign promises is to make the halal cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's very funny. Which, because he made a whole video about it. He's like, the halal's gotten too expensive. The funny thing is, I don't think anyone knew what the price for halal is.
Yeah.
Because when you're ordering halal, you are so fucking wasted.
Right.
You are so drunk. You just hand a $20 bill. I mean, anytime I've gotten halal, I don't know whether it was $16 or $8. All I know is I want to pee on the side of the cart. Yeah. Just give me the slop. I mean, there was nobody drunk on like, prices are too high.
I've never met anyone who's bought halal in the daylight.
Because there's nobody who's sober who's getting halal because you're overlooking the fact that the guy's peeing inside the fucking cart.
It's what it is.
Ladder 14.
Mr. Mom, Ben Turner, Brian Robson. Then we had Toot, had a surprise. Now I got glue in my eyes.
Okay.
Andrew NG, Ray Mola, No Pants Kyle, Billy Shinkor, Jay Marvel, Jesse Ashton, Sandusky Tickle Monsters.
Wei Song Xian.
We're going to throw that on the list because nothing good's come along yet.
Nothing good's come along. Now that could, we have a new one. Well, we'll unveil the LeBron James later.
Well, we unveiled it last episode. So if you come out early in the list, and you're a contender, and then you end up winning, you're a LeBron James because you came out early and you lived up to the hype.
That's what it is. Kekton 1, an anxious androgynous, as cool shooter. Brandon Altman.
Wait, a school shooter. That's a walked into one.
A school shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, as cool. Yeah, sorry about that. Yep.
Yeah. That's what you call security.
Ladder 14.
That is not okay.
No. Brandon Altman. Filibuster till Trump fills my butt, sir. Donnie, please press my Coke button.
Put him on the list.
Okay.
Yeah.
The big VZ. Okay. Jesse Vernon, Cameron Higgins, Wei Sean Zin under my foreskin. Now my squeak peen is hard from nicotine, big as it's ever been.
On the list.
That's it.
Kid,
putting nicotine in your foreskin's wild move.
It is a very good one.
Then we got Daddy Likey.
Definition of a chicken finger.
Then we got the Toot Fairy.
Chicken finger. Yeah, back to back.
Paul Lavarro, Kip Van Winkle. Accidentally threw my Frisbee at the World Trade Center. # never forget.
Wei Song Xian.
Ladder 14.
Damn.
At some point, do you think we should, for fun, have a walked into one list?
We could, but we can't make it a thing.
I know.
We can't keep encouraging it.
We do like a $25 just because they're horrible, but the creativity is,
let's consider it. Yeah.
I mean,
If we'll do it at 25 level.
I mean, look, if that wasn't so offensive,
right,
I would say that was the most creative one.
Yeah, and if it wasn't 3 days from 9/11. Yeah. Yeah. Kate Page, Andres Bonstrosto, Verm, Mine, Dalal.
Chicken finger.
Chicken finger, yeah.
Borderline walked into one.
Dwayne Adams, Clinton Huber, Amber Elivarnega, Elion. Then we got Sauce Monkey with Alfredo and his glue gun. Yeah.
List.
Yeah?
Yeah, the kid shoots out white glue.
I like it.
He's got Alfredo. He's an Italian kid who shoots out fucking,
There you go. Then we got Clarissa, I didn't mean to pee. Please answer my call.
Okay.
Tyler Powell, Chrissy D's Neighborhood Watch Program, a.k.a. the Sundown Suckfest. Liam Gelston, Shiro Ishii's Bug Chasers Academy for second-class citizens.
That was from
Old school.
Yeah,
is this an old? This is old. This is
no. It's probably a couple weeks. So that's units 721. What was
Yeah.
it? Unit whatever.
Yeah. It's crazy. We do these episodes, 2 hour and a half long episodes, and then we just forget everything we learned.
It's very crazy how
It's crazy how like we knew all. It was Unit 731.
Yeah. When you said let's do the Haitian Revolution, I was like, I'm pretty sure we did that. And I looked back, we did do.
We did do that one. Yeah, it's what
we
it
could
is.
do another.
But we'll
one.
do it again.
Yeah. I don't remember it.
Frisbee on my glue gun, but I still spawned the genocide.
Way song she ain't.
One.
Alejandro Ocon, Queef Latina, Juice Goose, Kim Jong-un's barber, Rada 14.
Okay.
Henry,
Lad
Derek Taylor,
14.
who paddleboards at 7:45.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't understand what the implication is, but
True Blue Cuck, Caden Eng, CJ Ramsey, Justin Angevine, Laser Neighbors just moved in, so that's why I have ants now.
okay, he's saying some Indian kids moved in and
Hey,
he got
so
answers.
but that's racist.
We're just
Walk
gonna
into one.
say that's a walked into one. Security, please escort this person out of the store.
John Bowler. Then we got oh Jesus Christ. Genghis Khan's stop sprawling my laser. Dude, this is so many letters. This is sometimes you guys try to cram it all in one word and it's just impossible to read.
Yeah.
Andrew Sadishik, Matthew Hunt, Hunter Ellenbarger, Ian Madden, Unit 731 genetic testing.
It got
Way
you.
song she
Yeah, it
ain't.
got you. They got you.
But it
bad.
is-
No, he's saying
Right.
genetic testing invented.
But that's
One of
interesting.
those.
It's 2 Unit 731s. Are we sure? Because that's like 8 weeks ago. That
No,
episode.
not that many. It was only a couple.
Yeah?
But I'm going to say, security, get this guy out of my store.
Get him out. Josette Diaz, Del Simonson, Sean Dean, Maddie Sherrow, Hunter Biden's camera lens that adds 10 pounds and a crack pipe.
Put him on the list.
There it is.
Put him on the
Way
list.
song she ain't.
Crack pipe wasn't there.
Yeah.
It was just the camera.
Yeah. Bloated Ozzy, a.k.a. the Prince of Fartness.
Okay.
Travis Morgan. Bill Cosby's favorite Native American tribe was... Okay.
He went for it.
You went for it? Okay. Quinn Hansen, Katie, Chase Taylor, Caleb Ayala. Skipping Thanksgiving to fucking alien I met on Tinder. Okay. Andres Munoz. It was an itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow cock in her bikini that she tucked for the first time today.
Lad 14.
Teeny weeny, teeny weeny, short.
Yeah.
Drexler. I think the first Drexler we've had.
Yeah. Then we got Napoleon Bonaparte.
Chicken.
Yeah. Kenton Rickerman, Hari Krishna, Nikki Tyler, Big Grizzly, James Leffler, Joshua Huback, Daniel, Chase Dial, Big Rant Rants, listen to Hyenas in the sauna to get extra sticky icky. Doty's Big Sunglasses, Jackson C, Benjamin Gonzalez, Funky Fuck, Darth Nalgus, A-Rod, There's No More Seats in the Back, Brad Wiggins, Marshall Powers, Omar Muse, Yeasty Teats, The Joe Rogan Useful Idiot Experience, MXTT, The Tuckback of Notre Dame, Christique McQuiggan, Make England Pay Reparations First, Barna Washishi, Richard Queet, Laser Beam with Third Degree Burns, Call Me Nuke Vindaloo, Joshua Austin.
Walked into one.
Yeah, okay. Joshua Austin, Warm Ball Max, Bridgie Macron's Concealed Glue Gun, Matt, My Peen Just Creamed because of an ad about jeans, Joe Now Whitney.
Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah. Slipped on lube at a Diddy party. Now I'm suing with Frisbee and Amp. Frisbee.
Kid's got himself the right lawyer.
Harriet Tuckman. Oldie but goodie.
We've had goody.
I my name, but was afraid Chrissy would call me.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
Way song she ain't.
You security, please
Yep.
escort this person
South Park. Yep.
out.
Moose Up, and then last but not least, Ernest Hemingway's Flying Ernest Hemi Monkeys. I don't know.
I don't even get that.
I don't get it, but not the strongest list today.
Well,
But we still
we say that a lot, but I don't
let's read it
remember.
back.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandusky Tickle Monsters.
That's a goodie.
Filibuster till Trump fills my butt, sir. Donnie, please press my Coke button.
Very good.
Wei Shang Zin under my foreskin. Now my squeak peen is hard from nicotine, big as it's ever been.
Really good.
Sauce Monkey with Alfredo and his glue gun. Hunter Biden's camera lens that adds 10 pounds in a crack pipe.
Why'd you say it wasn't a good one?
Yeah, you
This
think
is
it's a good
very
one? Okay,
I don't
so
think we've ever had a bad
So
one.
what do we got?
Okay, let's start with the first one.
Sandusky Tickle Monsters. No, Jesse doesn't like it.
I'm looking at Nick too. Nothing.
Nick, what do you think?
Do Do you know who Sandusky is? Yeah. He touched a bunch of kids.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, we're gonna.
All right.
Yeah. It's not okay. But it's funny.
Filibuster till Trump fills my butt, sir. Donnie, please press my Coke button.
That's the definition of an honorary mention.
Yeah.
Really good. Drexler.
Drexler,
both of those. Any other day, guys. I'm sorry.
Wei Shan Zin under my foreskin. Now my squeak peen is hard from nicotine, big as it's ever been.
See, that one is so interesting because I thought he should have stopped.
Right.
But then it still was good.
Right.
So we're keeping him around.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's being kept. Sauce Monkey with
it's not as in it's a Lucy.
It's a Lucy, right. Sauce Monkey with Alfredo in his glue gun.
We're keeping that around.
Okay.
It's a good chicken finger.
And then Hunter Biden's camera lens that adds 10 pounds and a crack pipe.
Yeah, we're keeping that around.
Okay.
So we got a 3 off.
So Hunter Biden's camera lens that adds 10 pounds and a crack pipe. Sauce Monkey with Alfredo in his glue gun. Or Wei Shan Zin under my foreskin. Now my squeak peen is hard from nicotine, big as it's ever been.
I'm gonna just take the cards here.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the cards here and we're gonna do a little slam dunk contest. We're gonna do a little gymnastics judging.
Okay.
I'm going straight. I'm making an executive decision. We're going with Hunter Biden.
Okay.
That's the best one.
That's
I think
the
we're all
winner.
in agreement.
Nick, everyone agrees.
I knew it too.
So congratulations to Hunter Biden's camera lens that adds 10 pounds and a crack pipe. You could see your name up in lights at historyhyenaspod.com or historyhyenasisback.com. And we appreciate you. Tell your friends about us. We really appreciate you liking and subscribing on YouTube, commenting, all that stuff works. And remember, if you want to be free and be the real you, who you cannot be in today's society, go to patreon.com/historyhyenas and have some fun. Of course, we have bonus episodes and all that extra content. But the difference is with us is you can really be who you want to be.
Yeah.